Hey guys, Adam here. Welcome to another On the Couch Rewind. So, after 65 million years in the making, plus an extra 23 or 22 years, we finally get to Jurassic Park. So this one is a bit of a... I have kind of a history with Jurassic Park in a way of my dad would not let me see this movie when I was a kid. Like, I was 3 when it came out, and my dad wouldn't let me see it because like, oh, it was probably going to be too scary. I caught it when it came on TV or when he finally got on VHS, and I was like, this isn't that scary. Yeah, it's terrifying, but I'm not like, I don't want to watch this anymore. I'm like, this is amazing. This is fucking amazing. Like, I mean, that's my history. Not a very big one. But when I finally got around to, when I got old enough, like 8 or 9, I watched it in full, and I've been a fan of Jurassic Park since. Like, I love Jurassic Park. I love this movie. I still love this movie. This movie is great. This is one, honestly, this is hands down one of my favorite science fiction movies. Hell, it's one of my favorite action movies, if you want to call it that. Well, I guess I wouldn't really call it an action movie. More of a thriller. I guess you could say it's a bit of a thriller in a way. I mean, there's plenty of action, but it's not like Stallone or anything like that. It's much more of a suspenseful action movie, while still having the wonder and beauty of the wonder and whimsy of Steven Spielberg. And I gotta say, after 22 years, this movie holds up, like, surprisingly well. This movie still blows my fucking mind. Because, I mean, yes, is the CGI a bit dated? Oh yeah, it is. You can tell it's dated. Compared to good movies with compared to movies with good CGI, it's pretty dated. But it's still great to look at because this is a technological achievement. And it is. Now, I'm not going to get into the plot because at this point everyone has seen Jurassic Park. Everyone knows what Jurassic Park is. So I'm not going to get into that. What I will say is this, however. There are a couple of negatives about this movie. Not that it takes away from the movie, not that it makes me hate the movie or takes me out of the movie at all, but just a few concerns. The one thing I will not talk about or count against this movie are the scientific inaccuracies of this film. Mainly with the dinosaurs. Because now I like science. I don't want to say I'm a science person. I do like science because I believe science is fact until proven otherwise. But I am not one of those people that goes and bitches about how inaccurate the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park are, or how inaccurate the science and gravity is, or the Dark Knight, or even the justice system in the Dark Knight trilogy. I'm not one of those people. Now, I will point out plot holes and other stupid shit, but I will not complain about the science of a movie. As long as it's believable. Well, as long as it's believable. As long as they actually make you believe it's possible. That's when it's okay. And this movie makes it believable. So I'm not going to complain about the science. I'm not going to complain about how a lot of the dinosaurs are not the right size, or some of them don't even have vocal cords, or that's not how they chew their food, or whatever. I'm not going to do that. I'm not. That's not. I mean, it's a goddamn science fiction film, is what it is. It is. That's what it is. So I'm not going to complain about that. But yeah, this movie's, I mean, and like I said, the CGI is a bit dated, but it still holds up pretty well compared to some of the really bad CGI movies out there today. This movie is just, first off, this movie is so much fun. The CGI on the dinosaurs, like, they put effort into it. Like, when you first see them on the big screen, or when you first saw the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, when the movie first came out, you were just, I know for a fact that, even from my dad's expression, that jaws dropped to the floor. That people were going, oh my God, this is actually happening. And this was like 3 years after Terminator 2, which I will review later this month. And people were like, and basically, like, not to go on a tangent here, but Terminator 2 with the T-1000 was just a stepping stone. While it did help popularize CGI, it was a stepping stone for something greater, which Steven Spielberg and ILM perfected with CGI. Now, that doesn't mean that it was all the dinosaurs were CGI, because they still used practical effects, like for the raptors, the T-Rex. We'll get to T-Rex in a minute. The Brachiosauruses were even practical. The Dilophosaurus, the little thing with the spread out fins that spits, was mostly a practical effect. And so it helped sell this believability that these were actual creatures, that these things could exist and be just fucking terrifying. Dear God, are a good chunk of these dinosaurs there. The velociraptors are goddamn horrifying to on screen. Those things are terrifying. Now, I don't know whether the whole... Now, okay, yes, I know it turned out the actual velociraptors are a lot smaller. That the velociraptors in the movie are closer to Utah raptors. But I want to know one thing. Are the raptors actually as smart as they are in this movie? More likely not, but if they are, holy shit, I'm glad we're not cloning those things. Because that is, God, oh, Jesus Christ. Those things, oh man, just clever girl. Oh my God. The T-Rex, the motherfucking star. Hell, even Spielberg said the T-Rex is the star of this movie. And you believe it. When that T-Rex is on screen, you know it is the star of this film. Like, the T-Rex is what you came to see this, you came for. You paid money to see the T-Rex. You didn't pay money for anything else. You paid money for the T-Rex. And that T-Rex is awesome. That T-Rex is amazing. And it's build up. You don't even get to see it until shit gets real. You don't see it until then. Just seeing the water cups First off, why are there water cups in a van that's fully automated with computers? That's a nitpick, but it just makes you wonder. It just makes you kind of question. Yes, it's a cool effect, but you have to question that. But seeing the little water cups, and then you just see like ringlets, just like, and you're like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And all of a sudden you see the goat legs like, land on top of the Jeep, and then the cables on the fence, and then all of a sudden, oh fuck me, T-Rex is here. I mean, Doug said it best. Doug Walker, Nostalgia Critic, said it best. This is the motherfucking T-Rex. Every roar that she gives is basically is more likely would be interpreted as something awesome that she is saying. Like, and I'm quoting here, I am older than Jesus. I crap zombies. My ovaries are chainsaws. And that is just to name a few. I mean, if you want to know more about that, I highly recommend Nostalgia Critic's Jurassic Park review. It's a really excellent review. It's a lot better than this review, that's for sure. But fucking hell do I love the T-Rex in this. And I haven't even gone to the cast. I'm probably just gonna talk about the fucking T-Rex, because that T-Rex is goddamn awesome. Fuck me, dude. I love this goddamn dinosaur. T-Rex was always my favorite dinosaur. Even before I saw Jurassic Park, I had a like little T-Rex toy. Not a Jurassic Park one, but my parents bought me like those little rubber dinosaur things so you can find at the dollar store. And they were like, here son, here's a T-Rex and here's a Triceratops. Like, that's how much I love the T-Rex. That's how much I love the T-Rex. Now speaking of the Triceratops, I really love that. Seeing them making a full-blown Triceratops, even though it's only in it for a small amount of time, was really cool to see. Because it was, I mean, even though it was supposed to be like a sick Triceratops, you could believe this thing was real, even though it was animatronic. Because you got to give credit to Stan Winston, to the late and great Stan Winston. He's the king of creature effects, or I should say he's the prince of creature effects. Nothing against Ray Harryhausen, but he is definitely one of the greatest creature effects artists ever. I mean, my God, I have, let's see, I got right here, I'm going to show you. I have on the table at this moment Jurassic Park, Predator and Predator 2, and I'm trying to remember. Yeah, and Aliens. I'm pretty sure Stan Winston did Aliens. Hell, I have the Terminator 1 and 2 in my little shelf there where my TV is. That's how much I love Stan Winston. He's like I said, he's one of the greatest creature effects. Hell, his last movie was Iron Man. And I feel like such an idiot for not talking about that, not mentioning him in that review now, the more I think about it, because I guess I just kind of remembered. But dear God, I'm kind of glad, not to go on another tangent, but I'm kind of glad Stan Winston's last movie was Iron Man. I really am. Even though it wasn't a creature effect, him making sure that, or I should say his company, with him supervising, making sure that that was his last, making sure that fulfilling or ensuring that Iron Man came to life. Bringing Iron Man to life was a possibility. I just got to commend him for that, and his company, his company that he ran before he sadly passed. But enough about that. I'm gonna go ahead and talk more before I take a break. The cast. One thing I love about Steven Spielberg's movies is the casting. He always knows when to cast somebody, whether it's like Richard Dreyfuss in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Like you got a guy who you don't normally consider a leading man, just being that short Jewy guy, and there he is in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, or whether he's in Jaws along with John Snyder and Robert Shaw, and hold his own there, or even Robin Williams as Peter Pan, along with Dustin Hoffman and Hook. Here you got an amazing cast. Now there are a few negatives, but that's more on characters' parts than acting wise. Sam Neill as Alan Grant. God, the last movie I watched Sam Neill in before this was Event Horizon. Talk about a completely different. Talk about someone who can fucking act. I mean, one of his his earliest known roles was Omen 3, where he plays Damien. And you can believe he's the Antichrist. And also doing this, I've seen him do a couple of movies. Hell, he was Merlin, and was it a miniseries or was it an actual movie? I can't remember. But he was Merlin. And here he is playing a paleontologist who hates kids, who doesn't know anything about computers, and Laura Dern is his girlfriend. But he is a very likable, I wouldn't say action lead, but he is a very likable lead. He's a very good lead. He does excellent work in talking about he talks about dinosaurs like he knows what he's doing. Like you believe this guy's a paleontologist. You can believe he is. So, but also, he's got those eyes. Those fucking eyes, man. Those fucking eyes. Those eyes can, like, display some emotion. And usually shit your pants eyes. Mostly because of some of the other characters he's played. And I still need to see Daybreakers. I don't know why I haven't seen that. I heard good things. But he's just so fun to watch. I even had an Alan Grant action figure. I did. And this is before I even bothered seeing Jurassic Park. But anyway, I'll take a break here and talk more about the rest of the cast, including well, you should know by that. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, shit. Hello? You are gonna go into focus, right? Ah, there we go. There we go. Should be wearing a leather jacket for that. Believe me, that was not scripted at all. That autofocus happened. Going going back to the rest of the cast, Laura Dern as Dr. Sattler. Again, something that Nostalgia Critic mentioned was the fact that Laura Dern has this tendency to mumble a lot. And he's not lying. She mumbles a lot in this. But I guess that kind of gives Dr. Sattler a character, but at the same time, it makes it very hard for me to understand what she is saying. Not saying that she's bad in the acting, but she could enunciate her words a little better. Other than that, I really like Dr. Sattler. I think Dr. Sattler is so much fun, whether she is being a paleobotanist who, again, knows her stuff, or whether she's being very tenacious, and even or just completely fucking with Alan Grant when it comes to kids, because she thinks that him being around kids will be good for him. And I'll get to the kids later. But then when she has to do kind of an action scene, she makes a complete left turn and to where I feel like she deserves an Oscar. Because, dear God, she knows how to be terrified in this movie. She knows how to play terrified when she's running from the fucking velociraptors. And again, going back to the velociraptors, those goddamn things are scary. So yes, and especially when they're when a good chunk of them are practical animatronic, or well, of course that's practical, but they're animatronics. You don't fuck with those goddamn things. Which pisses me off that in Jurassic Park 3, she and Grant break up, which I'm not going to review Jurassic Park. I don't have time to do it. So, nor do I, or hell, I don't even have the movie, so. But, still, fuck that. Fuck that movie. But just, fuck that movie for breaking them up. That was bullshit. That was just complete bullshit. Richard Attenborough, the late Richard Attenborough as John Hammond. God damn, I know in the book he dies, but I am so glad he survived in this. I really do. I'm glad he survived because it gives him an arc. Realizing, oh, perhaps this was not a good idea in the first place. Well, no shit, they're dinosaurs. And I'm not going to go into all the characters, by the way. But Richard Attenborough, he's so full of energy. He's actually the most energetic person in this movie. He's very much a child who has this dream, and you can get behind it. You can totally get behind as to why he wants to do this, even though you know it's a terrible fucking idea. You know, you just can't help but like this guy. And just being so goddamn energetic. Now for the gem of this movie, Wayne Knight. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, you know, I'm not even gonna get into Wayne Knight. Wayne Knight, that's Newman. He's fucking Newman. That's who he is. He's a douchier version of Newman. If Newman had no friends, if not even Kramer liked Newman, then he's Dennis Nedry. Like I said, Dennis Nedry is Newman. If even Cosmo Kramer didn't like Newman. That is exactly who Dennis Nedry is. And he plays it to a T. Like, he's just... Although half the time it does sometimes look like if he keeps laughing, he's going to have a heart attack. Which I'm just like good. I mean, really good on Wayne Knight for losing a lot of that weight, because holy shit. Because I'm pretty sure he was 5 seconds away from having a heart attack in that movie. Because especially the shit he had to do, even though they were small, they weren't even that long of scenes. He still had to act like he was getting eaten alive by a fucking dinosaur, and he probably would have had a heart attack. I'm not trying to be mean here. I know, but you just look at him and you're like, yeah, he's gonna die. I mean, really, either he's going to die from a dinosaur, or his heart's gonna kick his ass. His heart's just gonna completely give out. But he plays it well. He really does. Bob Peck as the game warden, and I can't remember his name now. Bob Peck as the game warden. He definitely he's pretty much the Robert Shaw of the movie. He has a hard on against the Velociraptors. Like, he fucking hates the Velociraptors. He does. He just completely despises the Velociraptors. Of course, mostly because he's in the first scene where he's trying to save a worker and the worker dies. Now I can't remember who played the lawyer. The lawyer was kind of fun. Kind of reminded me of my psychiatrist in a way. Except my psychiatrist is kind of cool. So yeah, there's that. Now onto the gem of this movie, Jeff Goldblum. I'm not gonna do that. Seriously, fuck, I could probably pull off a Jeff Goldblum. I mean, my God, my hair. Well, it's not 90s enough, but it's Jeff Goldblum enough, in my opinion. And I do a lot of ums. I do. I always do that when I'm trying to collect my thoughts. I'm like, I mean, hell, you've seen my videos. You know I do it. You know I do it. Not on purpose, but I do. And I love Jeff Goldblum. I really do. And again, going back to Doug Walker, he can't stand him, mostly because of the performance that he has done since Jurassic Park. Watching this again, I can totally agree. Dear God, can he be fucking infuriating? I am basically like John Hammond. I really hate that man. But here's the thing, I fucking love Jeff Goldblum. Again, like Alan Grant, I had a Jeff Goldblum action figure. And this was during the Lost World Jurassic Park toy line. And so, but here's the thing, here's the great thing. It wasn't Lost World Ian Malcolm, it was Jurassic Park Ian Malcolm, where he looked like a fucking rock star. And I was just like holding Alan Grant and Ian Malcolm, and I'm like, fuck you, Ian, fuck you, Alan Grant. Jeff fucking Goldblum, motherfucker. That's how much I love Jeff Goldblum. I mean, and when Independence Day Forever comes out, I am so fucking reviewing the first Independence Day. Fuck yeah. And if they ever decide to remake The Fly again, I'll review that too. Hell, I'll review all the episodes he was in Law and Order Criminal Intent just for the fuck of it. I'll review Silverado Buckaroo Banzai too. Actually, you know, I may just go down to the library and rent Buckaroo Banzai just because I'm bored. But yeah, I can kind of agree that Jeff Goldblum's character gets really infuriating, but it's less of the Oz and just more, he's just playing an asshole. He's playing an obnoxious fucking asshole, and he only gets likable when he gets knocked aside and beaten and broken by the T-Rex. That is the only time he actually gets likable. Is when he gets thrown into a fucking outhouse by the goddamn T-Rex while the lawyer dies. And of course you got Sam Jackson just being fucking Sam Jackson, being the black guy of that movie. And I swear it's like, hold on to your butts. It's like, I will make that a motherfucking catchphrase, motherfucker. Well, you made one something a catchphrase, but it definitely wasn't hold on to your butts. And I like how he's always smoking. He either has the cigarette in his mouth while he talks, or he has it in his hand, ready to smoke it while he talks. It's like, I just love how each of these characters have their own little quirks and characteristics here. That's what I really love. Now on to the kids. What many would consider the most annoying part of this movie. I like Timmy. Timmy's awesome. Timmy is really, really cool. Yes, he doesn't do much. If anything, he doesn't do anything at all, but he has a certain charm and likability to him. So I like Timmy. Lexi, on the other hand, I cannot stand her. I cannot. Yes, she does more in this movie, but for the majority of the film, she is acting stupid, more stupid than Malcolm is. She is really the reason why she and Timmy were in the situation with the Jeep during because of the T-Rex, because she would not turn off the goddamn flashlight, even though even Timmy was telling her, turn the goddamn thing off, because she's really fucking stupid. Not to mention, she really got annoying with the whole dinosaur thing, with being scared of every single dinosaur, even though she should have known that there were dinosaurs that don't eat people, or even eat meat. She's just kind of being retarded, and I get it. I get it. She's supposed to be the one who doesn't understand. She has to learn, but she's also in a terrible experience with dinosaurs because of the fucking T-Rex. There's a certain level of believability before it gets obnoxious and annoying, and that is who she is. That is what she is. When your little brother, who really doesn't do shit in this movie, is more likable than you, there's a problem. And that's not a crack on the actress. The actress is fine in it. It's the goddamn character that I cannot stand. I just don't like the character. Now, done with that, I want to go ahead and talk about the story. The story is fine. The story is very simple, but the biggest problem I do have with it is there are plot lines that drop, that just completely drop. Fully. Just completely and utterly fully. Like, for instance, after Wayne Knight dies, that's the end of the whole corporate espionage thing, stealing the embryos storyline. Dr. Sattler trying to fix the Triceratops, done. Just as it started. The storm serpent. I just watched it like 20 minutes ago, so I should know this. Well, I guess the storm did kind of serve a purpose, but at the same time, it just ended just as quickly as well. Wayne Knight apparently having financial problems, again tying into the whole corporate espionage thing, dropped just as it started. Yeah, there's plenty of like dropped storylines in here. But again, it doesn't take you out of the movie because you're so invested in everything else. You're just completely invested in everything else. You don't really care. And again, the action scenes in this movie are fucking suspenseful, and they're very wonderful. Dear God, are they beautiful to look at. Like when Alan and when Grant and the kids are running from the Gallimimuses, that was a cool shot. That's like one of those memorable shots, just as much as the T-Rex revealing itself for the first time, or the kitchen scene with the velociraptors. That's a memorable shot. Oh God, is it? It's just it's on the edge of your seat. Holy shit! Moments like those that makes this movie stand the test of time. No pun intended. Okay, maybe a little. But that's what makes this movie so great. I love this goddamn movie. One other thing before I give final score, the music. Of course you got the main thing, the dun 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 dun. Like, try getting that out of your head, really. But then and it is very John Williams. John Williams is one of my favorite movie composers of all time. But then you got that one piece of music, and I'll play it in post. So I'll just hold on. I'll play it right now. Okay. If you heard that, then more likely you will, because I'm going to add it. I always keep thinking it sounds like Nazis are showing up, or the Empire, because that's always that one bit of music that doesn't fit right with me. I don't know why. It kind of does, but at the same time, it's a little out of place and weird for something like this. It just, to me, it kind of is. I mean, if it doesn't bother you, that's fine. But for me, I always think Nazis. I don't know why, but I'm always thinking Nazis every single time I hear that song, hear that piece of music, because it's really in a lot of John Williams movies, or a lot of John Williams music. A lot of movies that John Williams does, like Star Wars. I mean, Star Wars doesn't make sense. Indiana Jones, it kind of makes sense. But it's always that bit. And I'm probably going to show this to my dad, but it's a little weird for me. So, yeah. So, yeah. I love this movie. Despite its problems, despite some of its flaws, I love this movie a lot. This movie's great. Like I said last year when I had to go see fucking Maleficent, when I did my Maleficent review, I missed the T-Rex reveal for fucking Maleficent. That's how much I love this movie. That I was so mad that I had to miss the T-Rex reveal because of fucking Maleficent. Now, okay, granted, yes, I was looking forward to Maleficent, but after seeing it, I just... You just kind of regret things. That's how much I love this movie. So, final score for Jurassic Park is a solid 9 out of 10. Despite all of its despite some of its problems, I love this movie. I said it. I don't know how many times I have to say it. I fucking love this movie. This movie holds up. Like, completely holds up. Solidly holds up. After 20 plus years, this movie is a fucking classic. It is a classic among classics. It is. It's one of the greatest movies of all time. And I fucking love it. I do. I've probably watched this movie like 100 times. I love this movie so much. So yeah, that's my review for Jurassic Park. Probably missed a couple of things, but whatever. I talked a lot about the dinosaurs, so I'm good. So yeah, I will be back later this week when I review the return of the dinosaurs. We're back, a dinosaur story. No, I'm just kidding. I will be reviewing Jurassic World. Until then, I will see you guys next time. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful day. Bye.